It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. Always a pleasure, and I mean that, to be here with Kenny and Shaq. Our featured matchup tonight in Chicago, where the Bulls will be going up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. We're going to be checking out Jimmy Butler in this one, a player who has really made the most out of his talent the last few years. How much have we seen, though? How good can this guy be?
Let me tell you something. This guy has a big frame as any other two-guard in the league. He's taken big leaps in improvement every year in the league, and that's why it's his team now.
You know, I like him for a lot of reasons. I like his pace. I like his demeanor. And he could drop 40 on you.
In a half,
like
he did last year.
No question.
He dropped 40 and a half.
And a half. I mean, last year.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable.
That's JL in right there.
What's JL in?
Jordan-like numbers.
Oh, not. Ooh.
I never did 40 and a half. I did 38.
I think it was more like IML. Iceman-like numbers.
Ooh.
Hey, 1,364.
I know.
Times you talked about yourself. Tip-off approaches. We'll see you later.
Gotcha.
Chicago as the Bulls get ready to take the hardwood here at the United Center. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Last game for the Pacers, they pick up the W against the Nets.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Pacers, Young and Turner up front, Stevenson and George on the wings, and it's Teague in at the point guard position. So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. Clock at 6. The shot by Butler, nobody around. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Turner. And at 6'7", 6'8", Thaddeus Young, definitely more a small ball power forward, but that seems to be the way the league is going these days.
Yeah, it is, and in spite of his ability to fit into that small ball mantra, he can get overpowered inside by the bigger forwards. He's quick off the dribble, an excellent left-handed slasher, and he's capable of putting big numbers on the board when he gets it going.
Lopez outside. Wade against Stevenson, 13 feet away. No good from Wade. On defense, the Bulls, their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And no doubt in my mind, the overriding factor in that game was their huge edge on the back.
Yeah, the level of energy they had, guys, in the win wasn't matched by their opponents, and that rebounding difference, I think, was indicative of that.
Here's Wade, following the basket by Lance Stevenson. Rondo with a clean look. No good on the triple.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Got a piece of it. Rondo with the steal. Butler passes to Rondo. Here's Wade. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Now here's Stevenson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Nets in Brooklyn. Here's Turner. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Miles Turner, the 11th overall pick last season out of the University of Texas, only spent one season in college. But this guy very well could be a perennial all-star. The Pacers think they've gotten a steal. He was a 19-year-old rookie who showed he already understands how to hold his own at both ends of the floor.
All free throws good from Turner. And Turner was a five-star recruit coming out of high school. What caused him, guys, you think, to slip to 11th in the 2015 draft?
Well, you know, he didn't have a huge impact at Texas. Only played there 1 year. There wasn't a full body of work on his resume. Some even looked at his awkward running gait as perhaps a chink in his armor. But he trained with track coaches, developed his hip flexibility, and really has been working on his mobility and had a strong rookie season.
And that one falls from Mirotic. Stevenson with it. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. And the shot goes down.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. That one on George.
And when you talk about what a two-way player is in the NBA, Jimmy Butler epitomizes that. I mean, he can carry a team on offense in so many ways. You know, he came up more so as a defender and has continued to wear that role with pride. And I think that's one reason why, if you're a Bulls fan moving forward, you have to feel good knowing that he's one of the cornerstones of your franchise.
He's perfect from the line this time. And usually you hear the two-way player and someone is talking about a big man. But Jimmy Butler can make that impact as a guard.
And that is what makes him special. I mean, few shooting guards can match his prowess and wingspan, coupled with his defensive instincts. And his leadership comes from the fact he plays on both ends of the floor.
And here's Rondo after the three-pointer from Jeff Teague. Lopez kicks to Mirotic. Rejected by Young.
Thaddeus Young using that expansive wingspan to put that shot in reverse.
Turner with a screen on Butler. Outside Turner. No good from outside.
4 or 5 to start the game. That's their first miss.
Let's send it over to Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Nate McMillan. David.
Well, Kevin, the crucial aspect in his mind is making things tough for them inside. He said they're a physical team, and they bring a lot of intensity. If we don't respond when they push us, we'll just get bullied all game. We're going to get down in the paint tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And Butler sends it back. Here's Wade. Hands the shot from the wing. Wade's got his first 2 points of the night. Pacers leading by 4. Here's Stevenson. And Teague has it in the corner. From past the arc. The shot misses. And the Bulls going the other way now. Here's Rondo. Here's Mirotic. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
This trip is his. Second to the free throw line in this one.
And last season he was successful 81% of the time when he went to the line, so he didn't waste a lot of opportunities.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
And that one falls for Mirotic. Indiana leading. Now here's Teague. He's coming off a 13-point game against Brooklyn.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
Chicago's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Rondo kicks to Lopez. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And really, you got to commend the Bulls for the success they've had in the draft. You look at that roster, you see a ton of big minute players who were drafted by the Bulls. They've done a great job of finding players to fill roles within that team.
And it's tied up with that one. And with the Bulls and their draft success, a lot of it has come with picks, Greg, later on in the draft.
Yeah, the last lottery pick the Bulls had was Derrick Rose. Not a bad one there.
Yes.
But since then, they've drafted or made trades on draft day to find a ton of rotation players. Give a lot of credit to their scouting department for their continued success.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Indiana's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Rondo against Teague. In the corner, it's Stevenson. Fires the 3. Connects from three-point range. Stevenson's got 7 points in the game.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
Rondo dishes to Wade. Lets it go from deep. They get the rebound. Rondo passes to Mirotic. Feeds it to Wade. Butler kicks to Lopez. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
Going against a conference opponent, one that outplayed them head-to-head last season, a chance for payback.
And Greg, I look at these two teams who seem to perhaps be on the verge. So these are those pecking order games where you try to get some separation.
And here is Teague. Rajon Rondo getting it to go from deep. Shot's good from Young.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Now, here is Mirotic. He's got 6. Rondo dishes to Mirotic. Here's Butler. Second chance effort, and he lays it up and in. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum. And one of the more aggressive teams in the league this past offseason, looking to adjust their roster, the Indiana Pacers. I mean, the trade for Jeff Teague, another for Thaddeus Young, the signing of Al Jefferson. It's going to be interesting to see how all these new players gel in Nate McMillan's system.
Bobby Portis is checked in for Mirotic. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Chicago.
And clearly, this is a squad that makes its living in the paint. Very few teams are as determined to get the ball inside as much as they are. They aren't going to settle for jump shots. They're going to continue to pound it down low.
Indiana's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. And Jeff Teague of Atlanta, and now of Indiana, more of a playmaking point guard. That's something the Pacers have lacked for a long time, Gia.
Yeah, and he's a guy who looks to push the ball aggressively in transition. And that's something, as you mentioned, the Pacers have been trying to do. Thaddeus Young, another player who fits that mold. Jefferson, more of a half court, but I think he gives them a nice option there with that second unit.
Now Teague. Rondo missing on the 3. Miles with another miss.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Here's Butler. It's good. Butler's got 6.
Tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now, here is Young. Back to Teague. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. He has 7.
And Teague just so creative in how he finishes around tough D when it's thrown his way.
Rondo kicks to Wade. To the paint. Here's Lopez. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Rajon Rondo. He's coming off an excellent season. First in assists, and of course, he's got a nose for the ball. He ranked in the top 10 in steals last season.
And dropping dimes, too. I mean, led the league in assists, and he's an absolute magician with the basketball.
And he knocks down the first one. One thing the Bulls have to deal with that is unique to their franchise, Greg, is a extremely high expectation factor from their fan base.
And when you have a rich franchise history like the Bulls, it's a double-edged sword. Fans can always look back at the great years in the 90s, but they'll always long for a return to those days, and sometimes the expectations can be too much.
And, you know, for the Pacers, an interesting history. They've assembled 2 elite squads that both kind of self-destructed in 2004 and 2014. This franchise hoping they can finally build a roster to break through and win it all.
Now Wade following the miss by Ellis from deep. And Lopez gets it to go.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one. Brooks
kicks to Ellis. He dishes it to Jefferson. It's rebounded by Portis. And those great teams of the Pacers past, Malice in the Palace, failing them in 2004, that wrong, leading to suspensions and distractions.
And then a decade later, guys, a team that secured the #1 seed in the East stumbled down the stretch amidst finger-pointing and accusations. The Pacers dismantling that core and restarting with a new identity. We'll see if they can get back into that title contender conversation once again.
Right side, Rondo. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Now it's a 6-point Chicago lead. And Indiana shooting 47% from the field to start things off. Brooks kicks to Ellis. Jefferson against Lopez. And he overshot that one, missing.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. So
Stay on him. Oh, shoot that. Oh, hit that. Out, out, out. Get it, get it, get it. Hey, whose man is this? Shot, shot. Big. Shut up. It's all right. I got ball. Hey, bust that. You got him! Woo! Come to me, come to me! No! I'm open! Yo, kick it out, man! Hey, you got him! Get it! Ball!
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Teague against Rondo. Dwayne Wade on the wing. From beyond the arc. Drains it from beyond the arc. Wade's got 7. Pacers trailed by 8. Here it's edge at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. D-Wade out there with Rajon Rondo. And it's Butler in at the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's George. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, we know Jimmy Butler made a big bet on himself back in 2014. He turned down the Bulls' 4-year, $44 million contract extension offer, and it paid off. After a breakthrough season, he signed a new contract, a max deal for 5 years and $95 million. He said of his decision, "I was nervous, I'm not going to lie to you, but everything I put myself through, I knew what I was capable of."
He's come a long way, David. Thank you. That's good from Rondo.
And, you know, talking about pace, the Pacers have sped theirs up the last 3 seasons now. They were the 6th slowest team back in 2013. Last season, they were in the top 10 fastest.
He's off on the second. And a big part of playing faster is about personnel. Pacers with a more mobile front court and a lot of athleticism on the wing.
Well, it's really where the league seems to be going, and I love it as a basketball fan. Up-tempo, high-octane pace of play is entertaining. When you look at the Pacers, despite their quicker, smaller lineup, they still do a good job of rebounding the ball. Still in the top half of the league in terms of rebounding percentage last season.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Turner. Rondo passes to Mirotic. The 11-footer. Rondo's shot is off. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Pass to Young. And Mirotic sends it back. No one near Turner as he lets it go. Turner missing again.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
Young, that's good, and so Teague with the assist.
Young is often overmatched because he's not as big as other power forwards, but he still finishes inside at a high rate.
Rondo kicks to Lopez. Second shot opportunity. Pacers with the rebound. Young's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Teague with a clean look. But they recover it. Here's Stevenson. No good on the shot. Good D by Wade. Chicago leading by 7. Mirotic dishes to Wade. Three-pointer. Butler drills it from outside. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Yeah, that's a great call by you, Greg. You're right on top of it. He's a player that knows exactly how to seek out that juggle.
And the Pacers call time here.
Well, you got to put a body on your man when the shot goes up. That's just fundamental basketball. They're giving up way too many offensive rebounds. Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 3rd in rebounding, 3rd in three-point field goal percentage. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
Yeah, and going back to their rebounding, very few teams could outmuscle them inside. The size and toughness to scrap for every carom off the backboard.
And Turner kicks to Young. Bucket is good. Young's got 6.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Chicago's gotten it going from downtown in the second quarter. They're 3 of 3 on three-pointers. Mirotic, the pass to Wade. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. 9 points in the game so far.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Teague kicks to Stevenson. Turner dishes to Teague. That ball, nice speed that time from Turner.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Rondo against Teague. Mirotic passes to Lopez. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Bulls.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
You know, they've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight, and it's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
And guys, you have to be able to knock down your free throws. Struggling with that this quarter, good way to let your opponent back in the game.
And he's good on the second.
They just haven't been able to find an answer for Lopez. He has 8 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
Here's Mirotic. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. The Pacers were a much improved team last season, and easy to see why with Paul George back in full health. But this is a team that was the #1 seed in the East back in 2014. How do they get back, guys, to that level?
Well, guys, it's a whole new roster, a whole new style of play for them, so growing pains are inevitable. I thought getting to the playoffs, pushing the Raptors to 7 games in the first round was a good step. Really hard to compare this team with the Hibbert and West teams that got to back-to-back conference finals. I mean, I think they need another difference maker alongside Paul George to continue to rise in the Eastern Conference.
Good on the second free throw. Now Teague. 9 points in the game so far. At the elbow, it's Turner. And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
On the wing, Stevenson. He has 7. The shot by George, wide open. That ball. Nice feed that time from Stevenson. George has got a couple of 3-pointers in the second for Indiana. Rondo kicks to Butler. Rondo is screen on Teague. Rondo dishes to Mirotic. Lopez. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
Robin Lopez at the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
That's good from Lopez. And Indiana making a change here. Jefferson's checked in. And he makes the first but misses the second. And Paul George occasionally will play some power forward in smaller lineups. He certainly has the length for that position.
Yes, that's exactly right. And he's an excellent rebounder, particularly on the defensive board. He does have a pretty slender frame, but, you know, depending on the matchup, he usually gains more offensively than he gives up defensively.
Pacers trail by 8. Outside Teague. Jefferson, a screen on Butler. And George kicks to Jefferson. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
That free throw good from Al Jefferson. The Bulls leading by 5. Rondo with the ball. And Jefferson sends it back. Young passes to Teague. And he lays it straight in. Teague's got 11 points.
And Teague is just so calm and collected when he gets near the rim.
Mirotic up top. Back to Rondo. Wade outside. Looking to get it going. Rondo with another miss.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
You know, last season, Paul George returning with a vengeance. I mean, the season prior largely lost to that catastrophic broken leg he suffered when playing with the USA national team. The kind of injury that you didn't want to look at more than once if you decided to look at it at all.
The Pacers have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
I tell you what, Paul George, one of the more entertaining and fun guys to watch in the league. I mean, he's an elite player thanks to his outstanding shooting and ball handling ability, and he's got platinum level athleticism.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Bobby Portis comes in for Mirotic, and it's Cannon in for Rajon Rondo. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. Pacers lead by 2. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Dwayne, you guys have been pedal to the metal in transition. Looks like you're having fun out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of up and back. Close down the paint, close out the three-point shooter, get the ball out, go. So, you know, these are one of those games that you enjoy to play.
All right, Dwayne, keep having fun in the second half. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
I would call that a competitive first half of action. Ernie Johnson here welcoming you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
Well, they showed a lot of discipline on offense, called some high percentage plays. Even when the defense devised different looks, they always seem to have the answer. That's good coaching.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. The second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box out, battling for position, they owned the offensive boards.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Chicago trailing here. And on the floor for Nate McMillan starting the second half. George and Young are the forwards. Teague out there with Lance Stevenson. And it's Miles in at the 5 spot.
And Rajon Rondo, really one of the purest point guards over the last decade when you're talking about assists. I mean, he's a guy with the ball in his hands is very effective at making decisions for the offense, dictating pace. And when he plays off the ball, especially as a spot-up shooter, that's when problems can arise, but he knows. How to move without the ball and always seems to find himself in the right place at the right time.
And that one misses. And for Rondo, somewhat of a resurgence last season, gained back much of the confidence he had lost after his tumultuous time in Dallas.
Yeah, I felt like Rondo felt appreciated last year, and there's no substitute for having the support of your team. This is a proud individual, and we're talking about a big-time game.
And the second free throw, good. Indiana leading. And Stevenson kicks to Young. The three-pointer off the mark. The Bulls shoot. shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Rondo dishes to Butler, and that misses. That would have put him up. The Pacers shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. A nice shot by George.
Well, I think you have to crowd George's airspace beyond the arc. Can't give him any room back there. If you don't crowd him and invade his space, he's shooting it every time, and he's going to make most of them.
Outside Turner. There's the pick. Young for three. Again, Young missing.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
The fan guys are getting their money's worth. Heck, I should have paid to watch this one. It's been a nail biter.
And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession.
A moment to check out Robin Lopez here. Last year, getting it done. 9th in shooting percentage and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And, you know, back to his tremendous efficiencies from 3 last year. I mean, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Right wing. Here's Rondo. They grab their own miss. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of good eating down low these last 2 games. A beast. Athletic, strong, and playing with great force.
Jefferson's checked in for the Pacers. Pacers trail by 3. Stevenson passes to Teague. Drains it from 9 feet away. Teague's got 13.
And you could tell Teague was looking for a shot on that play. Always had his hands up, ready to catch and fire.
Rondo against Teague. And stolen by Jeff Teague. And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
They set the pick. And Young kicks to Teague. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And, Greg, it's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession. With this break in the action, we can show you the teams that had the most rebounds last season. The Bulls 3rd.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his 1st foul. Screen by Young. Down low. It's deflected. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no doubt they score.
And that's why he sold out for it, because he knew he had to make that play. He wasn't going to let them get the advantage.
Well, we're into the 3rd quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes played. George, no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it was controversial in Chicago, but the Bulls hired Fred Hoiberg to replace Tom Thibodeau. Hoiberg played for a decade in the NBA, and at Iowa State, he was the fastest coach in school history to reach 100 wins. In Chicago, guys, it seems he's loosened the reins a bit, giving the players a little more leeway to shoot with confidence and air it out offensively.
The players have responded. Thanks, David. Off the screen. And it's George again missing.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open. Rondo
dishes to Wade. Here's Mirotic. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Mirotic has been a handful. 9 points, and he's added to his totals by picking up 3 points at the line as well.
Yeah, that'll balance out that stat sheet nicely. I mean, you always want to see at least a few points from the free throw line.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game. That one is off. And he sinks the second. Indiana's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. And George kicks to Jefferson. Back to George. 6 to shoot. Jefferson passing to George for the lead. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Oh, tough play underneath there to give them another possession, just what they were hoping for. A little more time off the clock. And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Rondo dishes to Mirotic. That one doesn't drop. Good defensive work there by Young. Teague with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo, and they take the lead. 17 points for Paul George.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And here's Rondo. 7 points in the game. Wade kicks to Rondo. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 5 assists tonight. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Yeah, nice unselfishness by George, zipping the ball to one of his guys as soon as he sees him open to get the shot off.
And that one's good by Lopez.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Teague can't hit.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Indiana trailing here. Now here's Stevenson. 9 points in the game so far. Inside, here's Jefferson. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Jefferson's got 9.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
The Pacers have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. You know, Greg, when Jimmy Butler is out there, you have to be aware of just how explosive a player he can be. When he turns it on and gets in that groove and feels the rhythm, he can completely take over a game with his scoring.
And Kevin, I'm sure you remember that 53-point outburst he had last season. Butler has games where he has everything that kind of just falls into place. And he gets his scores in certain ways, but usually when he goes off, it's because he's getting to the free throw line.
Teague, the pass to Stevenson. Dishes it to Young. Young, a screen on Rondo. Teague kicks to George.
Well, after the Bulls said goodbye to Derrick Rose, you knew they were going to be in the market for a point guard. And Rajon Rondo stepped right in, and although not a direct replacement for what Rose brings, still a very strong signing. And they could have done a lot worse when it comes to filling in that lead guard role.
throw good, Paul George.
You got him. Hey, swing it. Oh, shoot that. Shoot that. Yo, look at the clock. Come get it. I see him. I see him. Hey, swing hit that. Ball. Oh, get that. Shot. Crash. Get it! Right here! All right, come to the side. Pick. Grab it. I got yours. Come to me. Shut up. Hey. Way to finish that. Get there. Screen. Pick out, man. I see him. Hey, help me. Box out. Hey, who got him? All right, come to this side. Hey. Hey, let's get a good shot. Ball up. I'm open. Come to me. Right here. Ball. Don't let him shoot that. Way to grab it. Come get it. Switch. Hurry. That's all you. Hey, get through. Pop it, baby. Out. Get it. Ball. Pick up ball. Yo, kick it out. Hey. Get it. Hey. No. Shoot it. Get him! Get it! Grab that! Hit me, I'm open!
Loose ball.
Going the other way.
I got yours. I got yours. Shut up. Box out. Get it, get it, get it. Hey, watch that. All right, come inside. Screen turn. Get it. Hey, right here, right here. I got yours. I got yours. Right now! Shot! Get it! Oh, that's my board! Ball! Pick up ball! Ball! Hey, get that!
3.
Hey, swing it!
Watch outside!
Yo, keep moving, keep moving! Shut up! Out! Hey, yo, right here! Go over it! And one! Woo! Keep hitting those! Hey, swing it! I see him! Oh, come on! Hey, swing it! Ball!
That one falls for Wade.
And you look over the career of Dwayne Wade. He was initially a slasher, but he's improved his shot and pull-up jumper immensely. And even has become a threat from deep if you give him space.
Well, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Bulls trail by 4. Here's Rondo. And that one, good.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Teague for 3. Drills it from outside. Teague's got 10 points in just the second half. Thinking again about how Wade's skills have evolved over the years, his offensive game has grown immensely since his rookie season.
And it's why he will go down as one of the all-time greats. His work ethic in improving his game. Fantastic post-up player as a guard. Wade's ability to score in any fashion is what makes him one of the great closers in our game.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Right side, Rondo takes a 3. Rondo with another miss.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now. These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Indiana leading by 8. George, that's a 2-pointer. Off target there, that would have pushed the lead to double digits. Butler with the ball. George picks him up. Outside Butler. Lopez is bring on Stevenson. Right wing. Here's Rondo. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 4 assists in the game.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Here's Miles. And the rebound goes to Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 7 rebounds in the game. Pass to Mirotic. Deflects the pass. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for C.J. Myers. defense, Indiana. Leading by 5. Paul George with the steal. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, you really have to like how George uses his body effectively down low there. I mean, the defense pretty much has no choice but to foul him in that situation.
First free throw is good. And George drops them both. Bulls trail by 7. And finished off by Mirotic.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Wade kicks to Butler. The pass to Rondo. 6 on the shot clock. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
So far in this game for Rondo, 8 rebounds, and he's knocked down a pair of 3-pointers in this game too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
And he knocks down the first one. And Indiana making a change here. Robinson's checked in. And Rondo drops them both.
He's made an effort to get into the defense a lot more by aggressively attacking the basket, and he's not shying away from the contact, which has given him some free throw opportunities.
Robinson, that's good. And here are the Bulls now. They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Lopez, no luck. Pacers leading by 5. And George kicks to Stevenson. Rebound by the Bulls. Butler's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
Here's Stevenson. To the paint. Here's Teague. That's good, and it's Stevenson with the assist. Teague's got 12 points here in the second half.
It's just what the doctor ordered here. Boy, have they needed him here in the 4th.
Yes, they have. He's made all 4 of his shots this quarter, Greg. Definitely looking to be a dangerous guy.
No coverage that time. And it's 13 points for Butler.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Absolutely, no question about it. I mean, this is a snug one.
Bulls trail by 5. Rondo kicks to Lopez. Soft touch off the glass. Lopez has got 4 points in the quarter.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch. And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball. And when you think of attack guards, ones who get into the lane at will, Jeff Teague certainly comes to mind. I mean, a great athlete, and it all starts for him with dribble penetration.
And talking about Teague, once he blows by defenders, he can hurt you in a number of ways.
Yeah, I mean, a great drive and dish playmaker, owns a nice little teardrop. He's also gotten better at drawing contact and working himself to the line.
And it's Young at the elbow. There's Here's a screen by Robinson. And George kicks to Robinson. Lopez with the steal. Rondo against Teague. Bulls moving the ball around. Wade can't hit. Indiana leading by 4. Stevenson dishes to George. That's good, and it's Stevenson with the assist. 34 points for Paul George.
And that kind of awareness from George is really exceptional, catching the defense flat-footed by rising up immediately on the catch.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off.
You got him. Yo! Woo! Shut up! Hey, get the board! Hey! Hey! What's the pick? Come on, box him out, man! Ball up! Knock it down! Ball, ball! Hey! Pop it, baby! Put it back! Put it back! Yeah, good board! Ball, ball! Get there, get there! Out, 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 out! Hey, 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 balance it out! Pressure him up! Ball, ball! Hey, swing it! Screen coming! Hey, screen, screen, screen! Good boy, good boy! Ball, 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 ball! Hey, 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 balance it out! Yo, kick it out, kick it out! Oh, get that! Hey, end to end! Hey, yo, right here! Don't let him!
Here's Teague. Guys, this possession could decide their fate.
They have to be careful with the ball.
Here's Young. No good. Shot missing. And it's Chicago the other way.
And it's still within reach.
But they have to be really close to perfect from here on out. I mean, they have to get their offense right on target, right on point immediately.
I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
Yeah, I'd echo that. I mean, we're witnessing something special here today, Greg.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 4. There's 14 seconds left in the game. Guys, what do you think?
You know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
And here are the Bulls now, trailing by 4.
No doubt about it. Wade has found the touch right now.
At the line for the Bulls, 1 shot.
That free throw good from Wade.
No problem for him there. You just know what the result's going to be when he steps to the line in a tight game like this.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
Free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, how about the nerves there? Those free throws put them in a very good position. 3 points clear.
Chicago calls timeout. They're losing by 3. 12 seconds left to play here in the 4th. Guys, your thoughts?
And you know what? You got a couple options here. You can take the 3 to tie it or get the quick 2 and then a foul.
And, you know, if it opens up for them inside, the quick 2 would be the way I would lean, Greg. But the foul has to come immediately after that.
12 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Rondo. The 3. He won't fall. And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. And so he's picked up his final foul. He will sit for the rest of this game. Chicago making a switch here. Drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And, you know, as good as Young can be in the open court, doesn't quite carry over to his free throw shooting.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game. Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 5. 5 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, you like the fight all the way to the end, but let's face it, guys, this one's over.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really think you shouldn't be allowed to call timeouts late in the ball game if there's no chance for it to do any good on the scoreboard.
Five seconds left in the game. Lopez passes to Butler. So it's Indiana picking up the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge.